Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DIY and on today's video I have a couple of really fun, super easy craft projects to show you. We're going to make paper lunch bag, like this, nests. I'm going to show you what you can add to them, and then we're going to make some beautiful eggs using these little wood things. But you can do this exact same idea, what I'm going to show you, on plastic eggs, you know, anything pretty much like that. So it's really fun. As you are hopping on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, feel free to sprinkle, all that good stuff. So I have a bunch of paint that I'll tell you what's what once we get started. I have a couple little twigs from my yard. I have a couple different kinds of moss. This is natural Excelsior moss. I don't know what that means. And this is just the green moss that I bought for $3 from the Target dollar spot. And these eggs, in case you're looking for them, these were also $3 from the Target dollar spot just recently. Okay, so we're going to be working on a piece of parchment paper. And let's do the eggs first, okay? No, let's start with the nest first. Okay, so you can use any size paper bag, or alternatively, you could use some paper brown packing stuff. These are lunch bags, 50 large lunch bags. I don't know where we got these, Target, Walmart, something. There's nothing special about them at all. You can just open the bag up. And by the way, I've made a lot of different nests over the last 4 years, so I will dig up some of those old videos and be sharing them here. Using paper bags is not the only way to create a nest, and this is going to be noisy. You're going to just start sprinkling and rolling top of your paper bag. Yeah. And you're going to go all the way down to the bottom. You don't want it to look neat, okay? Which is easy to do. Okay, and once you get down to the bottom, this still does not look like a nest because look, you've got these square edges. So I just found that you can just kind of poke them up with your finger into the inside of your nest. And then you can fiddle around with crinkling the edge of your paper bag, however you want it. You know, however tall, however big you want it, whatever. Okay, so this is the start of this right here. Okay, then what I did is I just took some brown craft paint. This is Truffle Waverly, what does it say? Matte Finish No Prep Acrylic Paint from Walmart. We're going to use some of that. And we're going to use a little bit of green. And you could also use some truffle if you wanted. You don't have to have these brands of paint. It can be whatever craft paint you have available to you. Let me get a paper plate. And this is messy. If you want, you can wear rubber gloves. I'm not going to. Okay, so you're just going to put a little bit of brown paint, out to start. A little bit of green out to start. What do you guys think so far? You know, I have shown here before how I do something called container decorating, which I just basically switch out a few containers with what is inside of them throughout my house for each season. And for spring, I love to do green and nests. Unfortunately, I have a whole box somewhere of some pretty nests that they're not real, but they look much more real than a paper bag, but I can't find them. What a surprise. And the other thing is, I know somewhere here I have some of these, I think these are called guinea fowl feathers, but I can't find those either. So we're just gonna use what I have, what is available right now. Okay. So I'm just gonna take, this is one of those, you know, the 80s, the stencils of the 80s that you used to tape down, and then you dab your brush in some paint and you kind of pounce on it. That's what this is. This works great. So I'm gonna start with some brown, pick up a little tan, maybe a little green. And you can do this as much or as little as you want. I'm definitely gonna need more brown. And I'm just pouncing it all over the outside of my lunch bag. And then I'm going to do a little bit on the inside lip as well. You know how nests are kind of a combination of different browns and sometimes green? That's what we're going for. So let's pick up some of this green, which is called Fern. It's Waverly chalk paint also. Look at my hands. I have been playing all morning, so yeah, so I've washed my hands at least 50 times today. Luckily, this paint, this Waverly paint, comes off pretty easily, but you know, gloves might be appropriate. Okay, where is my white? So let's say that this is basically ready to go. I'm going to set it aside over here while I get started on the eggs. And once it's dry, we'll finish the nests. So stay with me because we're not just using a paper bag. We're going to use a couple different kinds of moss, some twigs, and when I find my guinea fowl feathers, I'll add some of those. Because you know, when birds make their nests, they pick up all kinds of things to put in their nests, and some of their feathers might fall out, and I think it gives it a really nice, sweet touch. Okay, I have two different kinds of eggs, and I'll tell you which one I like the best. They're going to start like this. They were just plain old brown wooden eggs, and I painted this one in this color right here, agave. This is the one I like the best. Okay, and then I painted this one. Can you guys see all right? Let's scoot back a little bit. And then I painted this one in, what color is this? Lagoon. It's a little louder, but we're going to tone everything way down, okay? So we'll work on both of them. I need another paper plate. And I'm just going to work out the lids, I guess. I'm going to use some of that agave, some of this light blue, which is called Pool, and then some of this dark blue that is called Ocean. And I'm going to go ahead and use another one of those stenciling brushes that you used to use when you used those large stencils that were thick plastic that you kind of pounced on. This is slightly smaller. All right, so let's do let's do this one first, okay? I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this lighter blue, and you're just gonna kind of pounce it on here. And when you put this first coat of paint on, it doesn't have to cover absolutely everything, and it also doesn't have to be a good job, because we're gonna layer on it. So can you see what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and, since I have my brush dirty, let's do this other one. I do prefer this other more muted color, and by the way, you can use absolutely what kind of paint you have available. Don't go buy something new if you have some blues. We're trying to look like kind of a robin's egg blue. But you could do this exact same thing with cream and brown. And it's going to dry really pretty quickly. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some of this dark blue. And I'm going to do the same thing. This takes absolutely no time or skill at all to do. I don't know if anyone's going to look at the underneath of my egg, but can you see how it's got, now it's got three colors of blue on it? Okay, and let's do the same with this other one. This one that started with a base of Lagoon is a little brighter, for sure. I don't know, maybe I do like this one. I can't decide. I made a bunch before I came live, so we can, you know, take this project all the way to the end. All right, so that's the start of these eggs. Let me put my lids back on my paint so I don't tip them over and ruin my crafting desk here. What do you guys think so far? Hi, Lisa Peterson Brown. How are you doing? I want to also tell you that I did absolutely nothing to prepare the eggs, okay, except for I just started painting. So I didn't spray them or wax them or anything. Hi, Brenda. I don't know if you're thinking that maybe my name is Debbie, but my name is Heidi. Or maybe you're saying hello to another person that's in the comments right now. Donna says she loves the colors. Me too. Okay. So these are pretty, but they're not quite finished yet. I'm going to rinse my brush off a little bit. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some of this liquid leaf in classic gold. I have no idea what brand it is or where it came from. Probably Walmart or Hobby Lobby or something. Not expensive. These are some eggs I made 2 years ago that I made for a Christ in Crafting. And they kind of, to me, I used gold leaf for these and the size. These kind of remind me of the earth. So you could do that. You could attach those gold flakes that you can get at Dollar Tree, but we're going to use this liquid gold leaf. And you just want to shake it up really good. And I'm going to put some of this liquid leaf on my brush, and then I'm going to tap it off. Okay, let's just start. And you're going to do all different amounts of little blobs. Some of them heavier, some of them lighter. This does kind of have a little bit of an odor. So if you are sensitive to that kind of thing, you know, and you're using this same product, you might want to use it in a well-ventilated place. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do this one. And pretty much the different layers of paint are dry. The only one that I really let have any time to fully dry was the first layer of paint. And I just did one coat. I didn't fuss about the areas that didn't get covered. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. That is Liquid Leaf. If any of you guys watching have used this product before and you know what brand or where you got it, or there's another kind of liquid leaf out there that works well that you like, could you put that information in the comments? Because people are asking. And I just honestly don't remember. I don't use this very often. No reason why, I just don't. Okay, I'm gonna throw my brush in here and I'm gonna get rid of these paper plates because that liquid leaf is kind of strong smelling. And let's come back to our lunch bag nest. This is the one that I made before I came live. It has two kinds of moss in it. It has some of these little twigs from my yard and one guinea fowl feather because I took it off of another project. I took it off of this project actually right here, which is, this was a beautiful egg that I made and a pretty little nest thing. And I'll find this video and replay it at some point. That is the silver lid to a casserole dish. Okay, so this is the one I made earlier. And, you know, you can just decide how big or small and how deep you want your nest to be. If you want it to be an oval or you want it to be a circle. And I didn't fiddle with the bottom of it, but you certainly could. I'm going to start with this, which is Natural Excelsior Moss. I don't know what that means. I have a whole bag of moss. Do you guys have that kind of stuff? Where is mine? Real crafters have all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's pull some of this out. And this is super messy. That's the only thing I don't like about working with this kind of stuff, is it just gets everywhere. Want some in here. You can use Spanish moss. You don't want something that's wet is the only thing, because I don't know what that would do to your paper bag. And I'm just shoving it inside of my little nest and letting some of it poke out. And I'm going to give it a little haircut. The really long ones that are poking way out. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this green moss that came from Target recently. It was in the dollar spot of the store at the front, and this bag was $3. If you can find this is really nice moss. It's soft and pliable, and I like it. Sometimes this kind of moss can be, you know, all dried up and crumbly. So I just put a few random pieces in there. And then I pulled this out of the yard a few days ago. It was just laying on the ground. I'm going to take some little ends off. I guess we had a windstorm or something, and it blew some of these, I don't know what kind of wood this is, off of the trees. Okay, so then you're just going to kind of poke your little pieces in here randomly. All right, I had a dish. Okay, this is a very old piece of copper, I think, that my mother-in-law gave me a long time ago. I'm gonna try popping my little nest in here. What do you guys think about that idea? And I am going to get this off my table before we go on to the next step. Oh my gosh, I have a disaster here. Okay, so before I came live, oh, I forgot to do these ones. Darn. Let me do that real quick so that I can show you the completed look. I'm gonna get my little pants brush dry. We'll quickly plunk on some of this gold. This stuff is a little bit hard to get out of your brushes also. So tell me in the comments if you have ever made any nests. Is that something that you like to decorate with in the spring? I do. I always have. I have somewhere in my basement with my seasonal fluff. I have a box with probably 10 or 15 different nests, and I cannot find it. Or I couldn't locate it today. Okay. All this stuff does dry pretty quickly. And my hands are already a disaster, so I honestly don't care if they become even more of a disaster right now. Phew, this stuff is stinky. I am super sensitive to smells. Excuse me for just a second. Okay, so I have 3 of this style eggs, and these ones started with the whole base underneath is called Lagoon. And we're going to put these in the nest that I did earlier today. I might have to stretch it a little bit to see if I can get everything in there. I also might come back and add a little bit more moss over the top. I have 2 of them standing up and one sort of laying on its side. And these paper bag nests can be stretched and scrunched to whatever shape you want. Okay, and then here are the ones that I did that were started with agave. I have 3 of these. And I'm going to just put them in this one. So, my friends, that is pretty much it. In case you missed the beginning of this video, let me tell you what we used. What do you think? I used these wood eggs that came from Target Dollar Spot that were 6 for $3. I got them just recently at Target, but you could even paint a plastic Easter egg, okay? And then I used a variety of colors of blue that I happen to have on hand. I didn't go buy any new paint. This is, okay, so the brighter ones have a base of this, Lagoon. The more muted ones have a base of Agave. And then I just mixed it up and added some of this lighter pool, some of this ocean. So it's a variety of colors of paint. These little wood eggs, and then some of this liquid leaf, which, whew, that kind of makes me want to cough. Okay, and then the nests were made with the paper lunch bags that I rolled down and scrunched, and I painted them with truffle and with fern. And then I added a couple different kinds of moss and some little twigs here and there, and that was it. Tell me, what do you guys think about this project? Did you like it? Is this something that you might be likely to do yourself? I'd love to know. So, if you did like this, I would love it if you would consider sprinkling this video to your social media. If you do this project, I definitely want to see pictures. So share them over at Dreamy DIY, which is that Facebook group that I set up a few years ago. It's free. It's a place for all of us to share even more craft projects. So our own pictures and ideas of crafts. It could be you know, doing something, your version of something I did here, or you just doing your own unique something. If you haven't joined that group yet, it's Dreamy space DIY. You can put that in your search bar for groups at Facebook, and then it'll ask you 3 questions when you go there. Do you agree that you'll be nice? You're not going to tell people that their projects are ugly? Of course. Do you agree that you won't share other crafters' videos in this group? I would think that you would agree to that. What happens is somebody shares a video from Barb at Shabby Tree, which we all love her. But then I get 100 questions in that group about how to do that project, and I don't know any of it. Plus, she has her own groups. So don't share other crafters' videos, and then don't use that group to try to sell wreaths or makeup or anything like that. Okie dokie. Well, I'm going to hop off now and sit down and look at all your comments. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you want to sprinkle, that's awesome. If you want the list of colors, I can write that down. I don't know about this though. I can't remember. So I could tell you what these colors are. But really you just need 3 or 4 blues, a brown and a green for the nest, and then some liquid gold leaf. That's all you need. So, oh, I'm sorry Deb's not feeling well today. I hope you feel better. Constance says pretty eggs. I know. Aren't they just lovely? So I have 3 eggs here. Each one of these wood eggs was 50 cents. So I have $1.50 in eggs and then pennies in the paper bag. And then 3 eggs here, $1.50, pennies for the paper bag, and then I had this little whatever. You can put your nests, I think it looks pretty to put your nests in different kinds of little, either vintage silver or, you know, old copper. You can do that kind of thing. You could put it on a pedestal with a cloche over it. Lots of things that you could do Brenda Smith Bauer says she loves birds too. I do too. I totally love birds. And I have some birds somewhere with my nests. So if I find that, we'll maybe put some birds in these nests. Okay. See you later. Have a wonderful day.